He says, Bandcamp doesn't really help new listeners find you. No, they do not. He's like, I was expecting some level of organic discovery through the platform itself, but it honestly feels like a storefront in the middle of the desert. A storefront in the middle of the desert. That is the best, most honest way to describe Bandcamp. And if you're in the desert, I guess, and you're looking for a storefront, it's a great place. But if you're not there, you're never going to find it. That's a good line. He says, if you don't drive people there yourself, nothing happens. Very true. He says, then there's the fees and the logistics. People talk about Bandcamp like artists keep everything. But once you factor in the platform cut, payment processing, manufacturing for merch, shipping costs, and the time it takes to manage all of it, the margins shrink quickly. You don't say. You're not getting 100% of your music, huh? 100% of your royalties just aren't going directly to your pocket when you sell those 10,000 CDs this coming weekend. So I didn't know this about Bandcamp. I'm new to this. That I guess if you get the merchandise made through them, yeah, I mean, obviously if you make, yeah, they take a manufacturing cut to sell it. And then the shipping costs. I didn't know that. I mean, it makes sense. So here, if you're this guy or if any artist, there's a platform cut, payment processing, manufacturing, shipping costs. I mean, they're taking money 4 different ways. And he says, and he goes, the margins shrink quickly. He says, I also ran into a situation recently that really upset me. I did a limited merch drop tied to a new release, shirts and cassette bundles. Anyways, he says a handful of orders came in from overseas. And by the time I handled shipping costs and a couple of returns, I actually lost money fulfilling those orders. The fans weren't the problem, but the platform makes it feel like the artist is responsible for every moving piece of the transaction. So I didn't know that if somebody buys something on Bandcamp, they can return it. Yikes. Okay. Because like even a lot of like artist merch stores, like it's all sales are final. Because people change their mind or they fall out of love with the band. It's not cool. So I didn't know that. That's interesting. He says another issue is how silent the platform feels. He says when a song does well on Spotify, Apple Music, you see numbers move. On Bandcamp, if people aren't actively buying, it's just quiet. No algorithm, no playlist ecosystem, no passive listening. It's either sales or nothing. But bro, they have no algorithm, so that's supposed to be in your favor. That's what all the Bandcamp bros tell me. The problem with Spotify and Apple Music and the internet and technology in general is the algorithm. So you're telling me you not having an algorithm actually works better for you. What you're telling me is that there's no algorithm, so there's nobody to push your music, but the Bandcamp bros think that that's the best thing in the world. No playlist ecosystem either. You mean to tell me there just wasn't 10,000 of your fans just jonesing to share your Bandcamp link with their Instagram followers or their Facebook friends? And you did a bundle with a cassette and t-shirt? I don't know. You know, bands who do that kind of stuff, you should have a pretty big following because the money in that stuff is your margins are so low. So you need to sell a lot to make up for the low margins. And that one, my guy, might have been, because it was available to you, doesn't mean you should have done it. Because you got to really love an artist to buy a cassette in 2026 of it. Now I'm going to get the comments and the emails that go, oh, I listen to his music in cassettes these days. It's great. It's great. I remember back in the day, you'd like try to find your song on an album, on a cassette. You're like rewinding and you're fast forwarding. You're like, you're trying to get it right at the start perfectly. Oh, that sucked. He said, and the part that's really making me question things now is this. I spent a year pushing people towards Bandcamp thinking it would strengthen my artist income, but financially it hasn't even come close to what streaming plus live shows brought in.